In this video, you will learn how to cut and blend hair extensions.
The tools you need for the cutting and blending is the pintail comb, your razor, cutting comb, scissors and your section clips. You also need a tangle teaser to brush through after the extensions have been fitted. The purpose of this demonstration is to show you a simple but effective cut and blend to finish. We're going to deal with the integration of the natural hair into the extensions so that they don't look isolated and they become as one. For the purpose of this demonstration, we're using two different shades so you can see the natural hair and the extension hair for cutting. We're going to start with sectioning the two sides away from behind the ear. Cut the hair in the usual style your client would wear. It's important to remind you that if you do not have a hairdressing qualification to cut the natural hair, then you shouldn't do so. You are only qualified to cut the extension hair, not the natural hair. The next step is to get your client's permission to now trim the ends of the extensions. The usual style would be to follow the natural smile line of the ends of the extension. Using your cutting comb and your scissors, you're now going to proceed to cut into a smile line shape to trim the bottom. Using a nibbling technique, as you work from the corner to corner, you're going to drag your scissors, chipping away at the very ends of the extensions. This will give you a much more even effect. Once you've shaped one side, go to the other side and do exactly the same thing. It is advisable to use this technique on your blockheads before you even attempt on a human. The next step is to blend the natural hair into the extensions. This is to create a seamless effect, so you haven't got an isolation of the natural hair and the extensions. Starting from the outer side, you're going to collect a top layer of hair which will include the natural hair and the extensions. Without overcrowding your fingers, you're then going to pull out at a 45-degree angle, floating your fingers down until you come underneath the natural hair. Start to use your razor by dragging down towards the ends. This is not a heavy motion, it should be the weight of your hand taking you down, chipping away some of the extension hair as you work through to the bottom. The razors are very sharp, so always practice on a head block before you start. Continue this process throughout the extensions at the back. Once you have completed this process, recheck by visually looking at what you have done to see if any other areas need to be blended. There should be a seamless look from the natural hair falling into the extensions. Next, we're going to give a forward graduation or feathering around the face. This gives a very natural finish. Isolating the natural hair from the front, so a long fringe or a layer, you're going to avoid cutting this area by just taking the extension hair from underneath. Using your cutting comb and your razor, you're going to isolate the fringe area. Taking very small sections and at a 45-degree angle. Float your fingers down with some tension so you have all the hair at the same tension. Use your razor to cut away underneath the natural hair until you create a 45-degree angle as you're working down. Remember not to overcut the same area as you did before. So taking the next section back, you're going to cut underneath where you left off. Each section becomes your next guide. Continue this process until you reach the length.